So in this lesson, we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and it was definitely one of Jesus' favorite topics, discipleship. What does that mean? Well, Jesus had 12 disciples. A disciple is a learner. It's somebody that is learning from Jesus. So Jesus, next to the cross, his highest priority was his 12 disciples. He was pouring into these men because through them, that's how the world was going to be reached. And so what we have here is a principle called spiritual multiplication, not just addition. Remember, he said, go into all the world and make disciples of all nations. He didn't say just go and make converts. He didn't just say go and help people get saved and born again. That's the first step in discipleship. But after that, what do? Just what we've been doing in this whole process called grow up. And transformational discipleship is growing in maturity, growing in intimacy with God and character development, all that. But it doesn't end there. Because true discipleship is you being discipled to the point where you disciple another. You see, if it's just you growing and it stops there, well, that's not fulfilling the Great Commission of go and make disciples of all nations. Here's what spiritual multiplication looks like. Here's you. You've been growing. You've been being discipled. You've been maturing. What if you poured your life into just 3 people over the next year? In other words, you took 3 people under your wing and you said, hey, I've been going through this thing at my church called Grow Up, Transformational Discipleship, and I'd love to take you through the material that I just did because it's helped me so much. And so you do that, and you know what's cool about it is you got the material right there in front of you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I know all the fears. I don't know enough. I'm not mature enough. What if they ask a question I can't answer? Well, I struggle with that too, but we all get in it together, and through our weakness is his power made strong. So again, you're more than equipped, you're more than adequate, and you have the material. So let's say in the next year, you kind of just go through the grow up material with 3 people. And then at the end of that year, they do it with 3 people. And those 3 do it with 3 people. You see the power of spiritual multiplication versus addition? It's incredible. 3 makes 9, makes 27, makes 81. We can reach the world this way, and here is the strategy of Jesus. One more verse, 2 Timothy 2:2. Paul told Timothy. So Paul was pouring into Timothy. Here's Paul, here's Timothy. He said, Timothy, the things you've heard from me. 2 Timothy 2:2. Great verse to memorize. The things you've heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, so he probably did it with others, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. See, he told Timothy, don't just take what I do and pour it into one person. Pour it into many that can then pour it into others. And again, you have spiritual multiplication. So as you go through this lesson, really pray. Ask God to lay some people on your heart that you could pour into. 1, 2, 3 maybe. And then as you go through the material with them, you're entrusting a vision to them to do it with others. And I'm telling you, this is going to have an incredible impact on people. And you'll have people in heaven come up to you. Trust me. You're going to have people come up to you in heaven and say, thank you for pouring into me. Now let me introduce to you all the people who've been influenced for God because of what you did with me that year back in whatever year it was. Go and make disciples.